right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Chamber Chat. I got another special guest in the car with me today. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and we will kick it off from there.
All right, I'm Daniel Surfass. I'm the development manager at Old Mill Center for Children and Families.
So, Old Mill Center, if there's any nonprofit, any business in this town that everybody should know about, is you guys. But for the dozens of people that are going to be watching this,
the millions and millions.
Right? What's Old Mill Center? Give us the rundown.
All right, so it's a little tough to explain exactly what we do in 2 sentences.
Right.
So
take 4.
I'll take 4.
Yeah.
I think most people know us as an integrated preschool, and we also do child, teen, and family counseling for children and families, obviously. But we have 6 total programs that we host. Yeah. So we have a relief nursery, which is, I consider, a mix of preschool and social services. So they do in-home visits for parents and additional resources, and then a therapeutic classroom to get kids prepared for kindergarten.
Yeah.
We have a healthy families program, which is for like newborns and new parents. So that's additional resources. They help prenatally, all the way up to 1 to 2 years old.
Yeah.
So just doing additional resources, also at home in-home visits with them as well. We do occupational therapy for kids. So sensory issues, we're actually hiring for a speech therapist right now as well.
Okay, cool.
And we typically, before we had done physical therapy for kids, but right now we're holding off on that. We don't have a physical therapist. So that's really kind of blown up over the last couple of months. We've really expanded huge into occupational therapy. And we also do we have an intensive treatment services program, which is it sounds rough the way they say it, but it's a psychiatric inpatient program for kids that have been typically unsuccessful in other preschools at home. So they come to us with these behavioral issues and mental health issues that requires a mental health.
A little bit more attention.
Yeah. So they work on those behaviors and then transition them back into typical learning styles. And then we do preschool, an integrated preschool, which is really what started Old Mill. And that is basically it's typical learning kids mixed with special needs kids to give everyone an equal chance at a great start in life.
So you're right. It wasn't 2 sentences.
No,
you guys do. Well, that's kind of it, right? You guys do a ton of stuff, and I think people. To your point you just made about the how you guys started. I think there may be a good number of people out there who don't know all the services that you guys provide. It's not like some sort of glorified daycare or preschool. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of skills, a lot of well-trained professionals.
Yeah.
And it's just I consider it a one-stop shop for all things kids and families. And, kids, we come at it with a family focus, so it's your kids might get you into the door, but then we really try to, help the entire family, whether it's through counseling or additional resources and stuff like that.
Obviously, it depends on the program, but how many kids you run through that place on a typical day?
Oh man, I would say we see over 100 kids a day. I think that last year our relief nursery did over 600 personal home visits to parents last year.
Oh, that's right. You do. Yeah, you do home visits. Yeah.
And then we served probably about 2,000 kids through all of the different programs. We have also extending down into Monroe. We have a relief nursery down there.
Yeah.
And then over into Albany, we have our occupational therapy now, which has actually just started over there.
Is that over by the courthouse over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. I didn't realize you had a spot over there.
And then we do child and family therapy there as well, and healthy families. We have Lynn and Benton County, so we really stretch.
You're all over the place.
All over the place. We might be moving into Lincoln County a bit as well, but that is still here to see.
So how do I got a kid, preschool kid or a kid around that age. How do I get involved with you guys? Can I get involved? Is it open to everybody, or do you have to qualify, or what's the deal?
Yeah, so there are some things that people need to qualify for.
Sure.
So healthy families and relief nursery are all done on a risk assessment.
Okay.
So you give our office a call, and our trainers and evaluators can talk through scenarios with you and see if your family fits in that kind of category. We're not income based, which a lot of people think we are, but it is one of the higher risks that we do see in the community. For like counseling services, if you give us a call, you can get in. We do have quite a long wait list right now.
Like everybody does, right?
Yeah, everyone in the community.
Yeah.
So we do. You can just give us a call for our ITS program. That is referrals through Benton County, and so you have to have a mental health referral to us from some provider in the community.
Yeah.
So that's not just anyone based. And then occupational therapy is any parent, teacher, physician, or anything like that can make a referral. So that's pretty open to everyone as well. You just give us a call, and our front desk ladies can help you work through the applications and everything like that, all the paperwork. And then for our there's so many. For our preschool, you just give us a call. We have we do participate in Preschool Promise, which is a free preschool program for qualifying individuals. So that's typically more income-based issues. So it's a free preschool program for them, but we also have just community preschool. So it's it allows for anyone to call and try and sign their kid up for services.
So I mean, the chances are, obviously there's going to be exceptions to everything, right? But chances are, if there's a service that you provide, most people are going to qualify in some area. And I mean, you're not in the habit of turning kids and families away, right? I mean,
no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So if we can't, and that's just it, if we can't get you into services, we also can refer out.
Yeah.
We work with so many other community providers to really, we don't shut the door to anyone. We always try to work with people, no matter the way we can. So
you mentioned Old Mill. Obviously, it started. A lot of people didn't know how old you are. What's the history behind that?
Sure. Yeah. No. So 1977, our center was founded. It was called Old Mill School at that time. So we were just a preschool. It started with a dream of our co-founder Bev Larson and her friend Barb Krall had this new way of thinking about trying to integrate kids into schools. So they are really the founders and really pioneers in the field of integrating typically developing children with special needs.
Which is super cool.
Yeah, so that's what started it years ago, and as the community got bigger and the needs of the community grew as well, so did Old Mill.
Yeah.
And so we started, I forget exactly what small little office in downtown Corvallis.
You need a little bit more space now.
Yes, need some more space. So we actually, I'm not sure when we ended up moving to where we are now on Country Club and 45th Place, but the Starkers had bequeathed a bunch of the land. So right next to our building is the Bruce Starker Arts Park.
Right.
So they bequeathed that to
I didn't know that.
To the city, and then they gave Bev the land that we're on now. And so
that's cool.
They assisted us with the land, and then Sid Laswell's company, which now was sold to Tom Girding and became Girding Companies, which is now employee owned.
Yeah.
They're the ones who built our building. One stage where we had about half of it done, and then we grew and expanded in I think 2010, and so.
And it's a big place now. You got the place outside. You got you still got a little bit of room to grow, right?
Yeah.
Not a whole lot.
Not a ton, but it's definitely.
But that's the credit to kind of the work you guys are doing. The fact that you got this big old piece of land and you're nearly maxing out again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. I mean, it has its own problems, right? But that's great. It's really cool. So I have a special needs daughter. My 15-year-old's autistic. And I think it's one of the things that I really, really like about just the whole concept, mantra, whatever, of Old Mill is that you mix the two, right? The typical kids and the non-typical, whether it be special needs, whether it be mental or you know, physical, whatever it may be. Because kids now, especially nowadays, they need to know kids are different, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And that's okay.
Yep, and it's okay to, you know, I think the main thing was that they wanted everyone to know and be okay with everyone being in a class together and not discriminate based on what, you know, one kid or one other kid might need. And I think that they also saw a major need for those additional resources and not to leave kids behind because of those, and to really work to build and strengthen families. I think it's
super cool.
Yep.
Your role there, development director, or what do you do?
Says development director. It's development manager, but they're the same. They're the same thing.
We're gonna call you director. You just got a promotion.
I got a promotion
in this car. Congratulations,
you hear that, Bettina.
Okay, so we'll sort out paperwork later, but yeah, Daniel's just got a promotion. You're welcome.
So yeah, I do all things donor relations. So retention, solicitation, event planning,
all the fundraising. Yeah, man.
Fundraising stuff.
That's some pressure.
Yeah, a little bit. I just started in November, and it was okay. So we got 5 months, and our auction's coming up. So
that's right.
Good luck. And
you guys have the best auction. Best auction.
So it was quite a drinking from the fire hose kind of situation. Yeah. And it went off well, and I think it's been a pretty good fit for all. So I'm excited about it.
So talk a little bit about your role in terms of, obviously, fundraising and soliciting and stuff.
Sure.
That's you know, that can, I'm sure at times that can be incredibly frustrating too. It's like, because you have all these programs and ideas, and hey, if Daniel doesn't come through, you know, we can't always do these things. I mean, obviously there's other funding sources, but like I said, that's a lot of pressure, man. Yeah,
it's a lot of pressure. I don't know. I look at it as you know, we're going to get things done and push towards whatever we want to do, and try to, you know, Bettina's really good at this, keeping us all grounded and just take a deep breath, like we're okay. You know, I've got this. I played college sports, so I've got this very competitive aspect to my job, and so I try to push more, and it's. Then there's times where it's like, okay, I need to kind of pull it back a little bit because that's a little bit too much to ask for. But no, it can be stressful, but I've got such a good team around me that it really does alleviate a lot of the stress.
When I was talking to some folks at Carver the other day, and you know, it can be stressful, right? And it can, you know, and just the nature of who you're working with. Obviously, you're working with kids, right? So it's even more so you have that emotional aspect. But man, when you get a big win, it's nothing better.
Nothing better than a big win. Yep. So I mean, our annual auction, we came in this year and we did really well. Yeah. For it being online again for I think it's 2-3 years in a row now that they've done it online. Yep.
And the car.
The car raffle's our biggest thing. Thank you, Dirksen family.
Yeah, no kidding. It's crazy. I mean, like, I've been, you know, you do other raffles and stuff and other auctions, but yeah, I think you guys are the only one to give away a car, and it's pretty sweet.
It's quite a partnership, and it gets people very excited every time right when I first started, even, you know, walking in talking about, we have our auction coming up, and a bunch of people and greeters, are we having a car again? And I'm I can't guarantee that now, but soon.
Do you know, I don't know if you do know, it might have been before you got involved. It was one of our ambassadors, Michelle, won the car 2 years ago.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Michelle Waddell. Okay. She actually won it, and we were like freaking out. We're like, this is great. And then we're all annoyed at her because she's driving around in a sweet new car. Yeah, super cool. It's like, was it Subaru or something?
Yep, Subaru, Toyota, Corvallis. So
that's right.
They've been great partners, and everyone over there has just been fantastic to work with. So
that's great. Hey, so one of the things that we do at Chamber Chat, obviously we talk about Old Mill, we talk about business, right? And you know, and all the worky stuff, you know, as we're all on the clock. But we also want to talk about people like behind the business, right? So obviously you mentioned that you're part of a team, but you know, let's just chat about you know, see how things are going.
All right.
Hey, you mentioned just a second ago, you play college sports.
Yep.
What's all that about?
So I grew up I'll give you just a little background. I grew up playing football in a small, not so small town anymore, just east of Salt Lake City, Park City, Utah. Yep. And it's a huge
Sundance Film Festival.
Sundance.
I've been there.
Towns. So I wasn't a skier. My body type just doesn't really, account for the skiing. So I was really good at sledding, so I could always rock a sled. But football, basketball, those kind of took up my life. And so I left graduated from Park City, and I went and played college football in the middle of Iowa for about 2 years at a small liberal arts college.
Yeah.
Yep. And
that's still good, man.
It was fun. It was okay for a couple of years, and then I was super sick of all the corn and the cornfields. And
but football is a religion there.
Yes, it is.
It's legit.
And a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, you played in Iowa," and I'm like, "It's not that big of a
yeah.
But definitely, so went out and played football for a couple years, realized, I'm probably not going to make it to the NFL like I really wanted to, so
the dream was crushed.
The dream was crushed, and I was missing family, and, most of my family was in Utah, so I decided, I'm going to go back and concentrate on studies, and transferred to the University of Utah, and graduated with a history degree.
Nice.
And, minored in political science, even though I knew I was never going to be a politician.
Yep.
And thought, what am I going to do with my history degree besides sit in a library and give out history books or teach, or the liberal arts, the liberal studies. So I played soccer here at Oregon State for 4 years. Nice. I always refer to it as it's a student athlete degree. Yep.
It's just like, what's the least amount that I can do because I'm here to play. Exactly. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. And I didn't mind the writing. I didn't mind the reading kind of aspect behind it, and it was always learning something.
Yeah.
So I liked that, but I'm like, is this going to lead me to where I really, really want to be in a few years? Probably not. No. So I applied for law school, and I graduated. I got into the University of Utah.
Oh, really?
Yep. Graduated there in 2019.
Out of law school?
Law school.
Man, am I sitting next to a lawyer?
Yeah, former lawyer. So.
All right.
Yep.
That still counts.
I passed the bar in Utah and started practicing. I was a public defender for about a year and 3 months out there.
Rough gig.
Yeah, running mostly misdemeanor cases and.
Really?
Yeah.
So, and you were just, well, shoot, why aren't you a big time lawyer?
We ended up leaving Salt Lake, and I thought I was kind of run down with all the, the issues behind the system. I think there's a lot of issues in the system. 2, the caseload was just enormous for me. Yeah, I think when I left, I had like over 400 open cases that I was constantly dealing with.
So how do you even do that?
Yeah, and so it's just like, it's got to be the caseload. That's what my problem is.
Yeah.
So we left and moved out here because the air quality in Salt Lake is awful. So we thought,
Is it really?
Terrible.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Absolutely terrible. It could say like an inversion style.
Okay.
And there's like a couple of Chevron oil refineries right next to the Great Salt Lake, like right as you're driving out of the city. So I had
no idea. I always thought Salt Lake was like this utopia, kind of like this beautiful. I mean, I've flown in a couple times and stuff, and it's like, man, that looks right.
Yeah.
Pretty rough, huh?
Yeah, it's bad. It can get really bad.
Yeah.
Worse than LA at points. So.
Dang.
Yeah.
What's you mentioned obviously you got family, big family, small family? What's the scoop?
Small family. I got me and my wife Tammy. We got 2 dogs.
Nice.
Miniature Dachshund and a Basset Hound. So love the Basset, love the miniature Dachshund. She can be very chirpy and stuff.
I was gonna say, yeah. Them's them yapping dogs, right?
Yapping dogs, but very loving. Once you get to know her, she is the most loving dog ever. But
all right.
She will not love you for about 2 or 3 days until you really get to know her. Whereas the Basset will just run up to you, roll over, and
trip over its ears.
Yeah, exactly. Pet me, please.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we got a lab at home, and it's the same way. It's like huge bark, scary bark.
Yeah.
Most useless guard dog ever. If you show up with any type of food, you come in and rob the house. It's fine. He'll let you. You go all through.
Oh, absolutely.
It's great. Yeah, it's cool. Hey, so I want to do this thing. We do like a little speed round.
Okay.
Some quick fire questions, and
feeling ready. Let's do it.
See what you come up with, and might be asked to justify some of your questions.
Okay.
Coolest place you've ever been?
Cozumel, Mexico.
Ooh, vacation. I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yeah.
went down there. It was graduation from law school, and my wife was graduating from college at the time, so we went down there for a graduation party and graduation
tore it up
trip.
for a couple weeks.
Swam with whale sharks. You ever done that?
No.
Wow.
Wait, whale sharks are the obviously huge ones.
They're
not
the
gonna
biggest shark.
not gonna bite you.
No, they're sucker fish basically. Like not
the worst type of shark.
Yeah. So there's
the shark the other ones make fun of.
Exactly. So there's a lot, I guess, not known about whale sharks. Like no one really knows their how their mating cycle works.
Yeah. Huh.
And so for a few months during the summer, I think it's July through September, there's a mix of the seas down by Cozumel and Cancun, and two different types of krill come up, and they just feed for like 2 or 3 months out of the year, and so you can go down there,
you just jump in the water,
hop in the water and snorkel right next to them, and you think that they're moving super slow, and then they outswim you like it's nothing, you know. So
and they do and you're literally like in next to them. They're probably enormous.
They're huge. Like almost the biggest thing I've ever been around, besides like an elephant, but you know, an uncaged elephant. I've never done that. But,
probably not smart to do that.
But it was quite an experience.
That's cool.
And just educational and
that's really cool. Where's bucket list? Place you haven't been but you want to go. It's on the list one day.
Germany and Oktoberfest,
which is in September. A lot of people don't know.
I think it runs. Was it run a couple of weeks or something like that? Yep.
Starts in September, runs through first week of October or whatever. Why that? You just I love beer.
I love beer. That's a first.
There's never wrong with that.
And I think I've just always wanted to learn a little bit more about the history of Germany, and I've heard just
that's right, because your degree,
and I've heard nothing but good things about Munich and everything out there.
We got to go to, obviously, Germany. Growing up in England, we studied a lot about the Second World War and stuff like that, and it's I got to go, I know this is probably when I was 20 something, and I got to go to like Nuremberg and places like that, and you get to see these big arenas like where Hitler was doing his speeches from, and they preserved them. They didn't knock them down or anything like that. Just sort of, and you can literally like sort of being around, and you see all these black and white footage of all these soldiers standing. You're like, holy smokes! Like it's crazy. It's super cool.
It's something I definitely want to check out. Definitely makes you think, Yeah.
But Oktoberfest. That'd be right.
Yeah, no, not a bad time.
Drinking a beer out of a glass is big.
Like how big can they get?
Right. So. Exactly. Speaking of drinking, if you're going to be drinking, you got to be eating. You're on death row. You did something terrible. It's your last meal.
Oh man.
Right. And sorry, but Daniel's going to be gone in a couple hours. What does that plate look like? What's on your last plate?
Oh man. Gotta have a steak.
Yep.
Gotta have a steak.
What type of steak?
Oh,
or do you care?
Filet mignon.
All right, excellent.
If we're gonna do it, we gotta
do it right.
Go out right.
Yep.
There's this place in Utah called Cafe Rio, which they don't really have out here. I think it's better than Chipotle, so I'd throw one of their salads down.
Oh, really? Okay.
Just delicious. It's one place where it's like when I was in Utah, we wouldn't really eat it that often, but now that I'm here, I'm like, oh,
you
man.
miss it.
I'm trying to make it at home and stuff, and I'm like, it's just not the same.
Yep, exactly. What about something you've eaten which is never going to be on your plate ever again?
Oh, man. That's tough. That one's really tough.
We ask the tough questions.
You really do.
These are tough grilling interviews. Or just something you don't like. Like you're like, nah, I'm not eating that again. Or is there anything? Maybe you're just like, you know what? I'll eat anything pretty much.
Nah, I'll eat most things. Sardines, I'll stop it at sardines. That's for sure.
So sardines, we've had sardines as an answer. Oysters is another one.
Nope, don't like oysters.
Can't be doing oysters.
No. I like, what are those?
Clams?
Clams are good. Don't mind clams. Scallops. Shrimp. I like shrimp.
Scallops good with a steak too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get that. Surf and turf, man. It'd be cool. When you got your steak, right, and you're just chilling at home and you're in the backyard or whatever, and you're putting on some music, what are you listening to?
Good amount of rock, rap.
Nice. Like rock, like old, like 80s rock, kind of the hairband rock?
You know, it's probably like 70s through, like, I've got quite a mix of different rock. So my dad was born in the 50s, grew up listening to, you know, 60s, 70s music.
Yeah, man.
All that kind of rock. Then my mom was a huge Metallica fan, so we got all like the heavy rock.
That's awesome.
Well.
Your mom sounds cool.
Yes, very cool. An absolute sweetheart.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But
Yeah,
can pound it out if she needs
Absolutely.
to, right?
Yeah,
she
been to a few Korn concerts together, and so.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Your mom took you to a Korn concert?
Absolutely.
That is awesome.
Yep, we're probably 15.
Come on, son, we're getting in the mosh pit. It's like, what? No, mom, come back.
That's just who she is.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You like movies? You like reading? What do you?
More of a movie guy.
All right.
Reading kind of went out the door after law school.
You've probably done enough
like,
reading.
okay, I think reading for fun just never really sounded the same anymore.
No. Favorite movie?
Ooh, man. I like really goofy movies, so I'll put any of the Austin Powers up there, Ace Ventura.
All right.
Without a doubt.
All right. More of a comedy guy then?
For sure.
All right.
I can take it serious too sometimes, and I like all the new Batman series. Not the very new one, but Christian Bale's Batman series.
That's pretty dark. Those are pretty dark.
Those are great.
Have you seen the new one with Patterson, whatever his name?
No, I haven't yet.
I watched it. It's like a 3-hour movie. First off, and I watched it the other day. It's kind of interesting. It's because first off, you're like, why is he playing it? This is ridiculous. It's super dark. Like,
really?
Crazy, like Christian Bale, like, and you know, one below that. It's not bad.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Check it out.
Everyone said he's done a really good job.
It was just weird, and Robert De Niro as well. As the oh shoot, no, I was gonna say the Penguin, but not Penguin.
That's
or whatever
what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Penguin.
Anyway, good movie. Check it out. How about if you were to hang out with somebody, have a dinner with somebody, anybody in the world who's alive today, who would that be?
Wow, another good question.
Solid.
I'd do a dinner with Aaron Rodgers, Packers quarterback.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just found out, weird, he just came out and said that a couple of years ago, he's gone back-to-back MVPs in the league the last 2 years. And a couple of years ago, he said he went and did ayahuasca, which is a psychedelic drug, DMT, in like Guatemala or something like that, some southern country. So I'd like to kind of pick his brain on, because he came out and said that that's what really helped him gain confidence and, you know, this endless sense of love for the world. And it's also what other people have been told is that it's the drug that releases when you dream or when you die, that it gives you like some psychedelics. So a lot of people say that they see or they find God when they take this drug.
Interesting.
So it's something I'd like to chat with him about, and I'm a huge fan. So.
And he got beat up a little bit last season with this whole vaccine thing.
Yes, absolutely.
But you know what? As much as it was like, you know, and I was just like, all right, Aaron, chill a little bit. You know, let's calm yourself down. I mean, he stuck to his principles. I'm like, you can't argue with a guy who does that.
No, not at all.
You might not agree with it, but I'm like, hey, that's legit.
It's the country we live in.
Yeah, no kidding. But and he's done okay. He can throw a ball.
Oh yeah,
he's done okay. How are they going to do this year?
I think they've lost their best wide receiver to the Raiders, so I'm a little nervous about that. But I mean,
so are you a Packers fan, or are you
a Packers fan? For sure.
Not just Aaron Rodgers.
No, I mean, I would eat dinner with the whole team if we could, but yeah. So I think that they're going to do relatively well. They have high standards for everything that they do. So
nice.
We'll see a lot of new talent coming in, so it should be pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah, that's sweet, man. You're a history guy, so this could be a good answer. What's somebody who's not around anymore who you might want to sit down and have dinner with?
Couple former presidents I'd love to talk to.
All right.
George Washington.
Okay.
Just see
if he was that smart.
See if he was that smart, or see if he was that crazy. You know, of like they had to come up with this and do it. So like, how were you really like?
All right,
nuts?
That's fair. That's fair.
JFK. I just think he would be just I want to know a lot of different stuff, but I think I think he had the potential to really change the world, and he was gone before he could do it.
Yeah.
So I think that.
And ask him about Maryland too.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna top number one question.
Come on, John.
Come on, get it out.
What's the scoop? Did you? That's cool. That's actually really cool. I'm always curious, like when I ask that question of people, if they're, because some we've had, like, somebody might say, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'd love to sit down with Genghis Khan, and just be like, why? Like,
explain that.
Do you need a hug? Like, what's the deal? And I'm like, one, obviously, yeah, from history, from a historical standpoint, there's been obviously some horrendous people in history, but it always, like, fascinates me. You put that personal touch to it.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you doing this? What's the deal?
Yep.
I think I'm lost. Can I go this way?
I'm so new to the area that I have no idea.
Yeah, we're lost, so we're just gonna keep rolling. I have no idea where we are. So I think it's fair to say that COVID, the last couple of years, has not been a stellar time for a lot of people.
Sure.
Right? I think we can all agree it's been pretty crappy.
Yep.
However, there's been some good things to come out of it, right? Personally,
yeah.
Professionally, whatever that may. So based on those two aspects, personal and professional, maybe start with professional. Give us some light at the end of the tunnel. What have you learned over the last 2 years that you're like, you know what? Thanks, COVID.
I think that I changed professions during COVID, and I think it just kind of taught me that, some things matter and some things don't. In that, what really, at the end of the day, do you go home and are you happy about? And, mental health, I think, is also another big thing. Like, my last profession was dragging me down, and I got to the point where it was so detrimental to my mental health that I couldn't be of service or helpful to the people that, had hired me or brought me on.
Okay.
So I think that just a better understanding of myself and finding this position has been nothing but really positive. It's been great relationships with, all of my coworkers, getting to meet new people in the community instead of just sitting behind a computer trying to type out legal arguments.
That's cool.
And so I think that it's been positive in that way of, like, I don't have to be that big shot attorney to be happy with myself or my life. I can go out and do something that, fills my heart a little bit more, like fundraising for a great cause.
Yeah. So just a change, just sort of like almost like that mental reset.
Yep.
Just
exactly.
like, this is what I want to do.
Exactly.
That's cool. What about on a personal level?
I actually got married during the pandemic, so it has
not
been
a big wedding then.
No. It was small, and we flew to Orlando to get it done because our place in Utah went out of business, actually.
Oh.
And so they're like, we can't do it.
Sorry.
And it's 4 months away, and so hopefully you guys can figure out something else. So we flew a small group of like 15 people. I didn't fly. Everyone paid for their own way going down.
I was like, whoa, I don't got shot lawyer guy.
No, I don't got that money. I was a public defender, people. And so we all flew down to Florida, and some of my best friends and some really close family, and got married on the beach. And it was fantastic. So that was positive.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, and we just bought a house actually in Albany, so it's a couple of positive things.
Awesome.
The lower interest rates during the pandemic, I know that they've gone up now, but that was another positive that came out of it. So it was a lot easier for us to get into a nice solid home, and we're just loving the area.
That's awesome, man. That's super cool. Well, I want to thank you for hanging out. Oh, wait, hold on. If people want to get a hold of you, we should probably give them that information, for all the millions of people who are still tuned in. How do they, what's the easiest way to get a hold of you?
Probably give us a call. So 541-757-8068 is our main number. If you ask for me, they'll get you there. I'm the only Daniel at the company. So
you got to remember.
It's pretty nice. That's easy. And
they can email you too?
They can email me too. It's spelling's a little weird, so I'm sorry for having to swear here in a second.
Bear with me.
It's Daniel, DANIEL _Surfass, SURFASS, like surf ass. Third grade was fun.
That's all right.
At oldmillcenter.org.
Nice. All right, cool, man. Well, thanks for hanging out and being a part of this. It's super cool, the stuff you guys do. Like I said, right at the start, if there can't be a person in this community who doesn't know who you guys are, you know, and hopefully now we learned a little bit more about what you do and the day in and day out stuff. But yeah, super cool, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time. All the millions of viewers out there, you know.
There'll be tons of them. You're gonna get your phone just. You might need an extra receptionist right after this one.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right, guys. We will see you on another episode of Chamber Chat. See you later.